In an earlier video, we saw how to install your Java runtime environment, the Java Development Kit, JDK, and install Eclipse, which is an IDE, an integrated development environment for writing and compiling and running Java programs. In this video, we're going to look at creating our first Java program using Eclipse. Find the directory where you installed Eclipse. In the earlier video we suggested installing it in C DCU Eclipse. So here we are, and here's the binary application, so double click to start Eclipse. The first thing it does is ask you for a workspace. You can leave that as it is, or we can rename it DCU, for example. And then we will check the box, use this as the default and do not ask again, so that it always uses this workspace whenever we come back to it. The first thing you'll see is the welcome screen. Now most of these icons we are not going to concern ourselves with right now, but what we will do is go straight into the workbench to create our first program. So let's click on the workbench. So the very first thing we're going to do is create a new project. So we go to the File menu, select New, and select Java Project. We give our project a name. Let's just call ours Hello DCU. We can leave everything else as it is. So we click Finish. Now we click on our Hello DCU, it's added this to our Package Explorer. We can see that it's created a source directory and there's a link to which runtime environment we're going to use. We can just leave that as it is. So let's create our first Java program file. So we right click, select New, Class. So the first thing we do is give our class a name. Now our class is going to print Hello DCU for us, so maybe we'll call it Hello DCU Printer. Now because we're creating an application that we want to run, we check the following option, public static void mains. We need that main method in order to run our program. And then we click Finish. So that has created our Java class file. Now in order to see more of this, let's just double click on the name of the file in the tab. That expands it so we get the full screen. If we want to return to the previous view, we just double click again to shrink it. So just so we can see. So what have we got? We've got a public class defined called Hello DCU Printer. That's the name we gave our class file. And because we checked the stub to create a public static void main, it's automatically inserted that for us there. As you can see, it's using the two form of comments, the /* and then */ or the single line comment, which is just //. So what we're going to do now is write our first piece of code. So we type in system dot, and as you can see when I type in dot, Eclipse gives us suggestions. Now this is helpful later on when you're writing more complex programs and you want to use various methods from the different classes. But for now we're just going to use out. So we start typing out and then we type print line. So print line is a method that's going to print the string that we give it. So let's just say Hello DCU Uskal. And in Java we must terminate all our lines with a semicolon, except for braces of course, but we'll get to that later. But most lines of code will have a semicolon at the end. So let's save that now by clicking on the save icon up here, or we could click File, Save. That would have done it as well. Now let's just shrink this down again so we can see. So we're going to run our program now. So we do that from the option up here. We click Run, Run. And you can see what happened down below. It shows us in this console tab. It says Hello DCU Uskal. So you can see that Eclipse has an inbuilt console to show you the output of your programs. So now you've created your first project, your first program using a class in Java that outputs some text to the console.